Well, hey friends, welcome back to Watavue Mountain. As you can see, not at the mountain today, but that's okay. It's still a beautiful sunshiny day. I don't know what time it is, 11, something like that in the morning. And we got some work here at Suburbia we got to get done. We're going to try something a little different today. It's going to take us a long time to put this one video together, but I think you'll like it. Hopefully it'll be helpful. And that's it. So thanks for coming. Thanks for checking us out. Get yourself something to drink. It's nice and warm here already. It's like 70 degrees. And enough of me jabbering. Let's see what we're getting into. Let's get to busy. All right, last year we had done a video, and I'll post it. Let's see which side will it come up on. This side over here, I think it'll come up. But we did a video on this guy, the Trimmer Plus TBP 720. Right? We gotta trim the back 40 again. So this did a great job. It was a lot of work. Of course, my hands were numb. So like I said, check that video out if you want the full review on this guy. So I digress. I've got ahead of myself again. We're gonna do 3 different things to try to clear out this back 40. So what we're gonna do is, in one section, we're gonna use the TBP Pro 720. Check that video out if you're interested in you know, where we got it, how it worked, all by itself. I'm not going to do in-depth on this. I'm just going to probably do a time lapse of me using that. So we're going to do one section with the TBP Pro. We're going to do one section with just spray. This is Ranger Pro Herbicide. We're going to mix 5 ounces per gallon of that. I've never used it before, but it comes highly recommended. It's cheaper than some of the stuff you get at Tractor Supply. I got it at a local chainsaw dealer, so they had that. So we're going to try that in one section and see how that works. And then last but not least, we're going to use the flamethrower. Oh yeah, you know it's going to be a good day for using a flamethrower. I mean, come on, who doesn't like using a flamethrower? Jeez. So one quick note with this: make sure you check in your area. We needed a permit to burn anything more than just a pile of leaves. So if I just pile up leaves and sticks, I can burn that. I don't need a permit. But because I'm going to burn a section of these woods back here, I need a permit. So of course we're going to have all the safety gear. We'll have shovels and rakes and the water hose, and we have about 300 feet of water hose, so we can reach all the way around it and not worry about that. So the plan is we're going to do one section of each one of these, and then we're going to come back later. I don't know how much later, right? Today is April 22nd, I think. Yep, today's April 22nd, 2023. So we're going to do all 3 of these today, and then we're going to see maybe a couple weeks. Maybe we'll do a weekly check-in and see which one starts to grow back faster, if any. Who knows? They all might work great, and then we can just use either one from here on out. So enough of me rambling. Let's move the camera down there. We'll do kind of one section at a time, and then we'll see what happens. So we're going to start here in this middle section. I think where we probably did the video with the Trimmer Plus Pro thing last year. 2 reasons. One, to our north, it's pretty thick, and you'll see because we're going to use the Trimmer Pro over there. I didn't do anything to that last year, and we got some saplings, some good sized saplings, so it'll be good to see that in action again, make sure it still works the way it's supposed to. Then to our south, and I'll throw a picture in here, we have a bird that's not a bird. Really, it's a gray rat snake. So we have a gray rat snake living in a birdhouse over here. And I don't know if it has babies or whatever, but it hasn't come out for 3 days. It just pokes its head out, gets some sun, gets a little moisture, and then pokes its head back in. So I don't want to disrupt that too bad. Now, you might tell me I'm wrong, but we're going to spray around that side because I figure the heat and the smoke will make it come out. The noise of the weed eater will make it come out. The least invasive is going to be the spray, because this spray supposedly dries in 30 minutes. So even if the snake does come out and gets in the spray, I doubt it will be within the 30 minutes of when I spray it, since, like I said, I've been watching it for 3 days and it hasn't come out. So so we're going to spray that side. So the center will be burned. The left side, as you're looking at it, we're going to use the trimmer. The right side, as you're looking at it, we're going to spray. So let me show you how to fire this thing up, and let's get to burning. couple things we got to talk about before we start burning, right? We already talked about we have to have a permit. I have a permit. I talked to the Forestry Service this morning to make sure that we were good to go to burn. We had some good rain last night, so hopefully it doesn't travel too far. Secondly, you got to know which way your wind's blowing. Right now, it's coming from the north, so it's coming this way. So I'm going to start on this side and kind of let that fire creep, or maybe start here in the middle. You see I already burned just a little test spot to see how it was going to work out. Make sure I could work this torch properly. And then, like I said, I have a shovel, I have a hoe, and I have a big yard rake so that I can help create a fire break. But part of the reason too I'm using this center is because it's a natural finger going out, right? So I have a ditch on that side and I have a ditch on this side. So even if it creeps a little bit, it's not going to go too far because we have that natural break there. So now let's get this thing fired up. We'll switch to the time lapse and just go from there. Well, like most things on this channel, that's the way it goes. It took me about 30 minutes. This is about 20 by 25. When I did this little test section the other day, I lit it, the wind was blowing, and it just crept like you see wildfires doing. I guess we got too much rain last night, and you saw I just had to stand there and keep torching the whole thing, and it was only about 30 minutes worth of work. It's not hard, it's a little warm. The wind changed directions a couple times, but not a big deal. As you can see though, it's pretty much put itself out already. So what I'm gonna do, because it's so easy in Georgia, or at least today it was, I don't know if it always is, but because it was so easy for me to get this permit, if it doesn't dry out before about 3, so I got about 2.5 hours to let it kind of dry out a little, I'll try it again, and if not, I'll just burn all this another day. And like I said, I have a draw on that side, I have a draw on this side, and I have this little spur going down right here, so I'm just gonna burn this whole spur and get all this out of here. So just so you know, if I don't come back and show you what it all looks like completely burnt, which I'll try to add that in if I take a picture or a short video of that, if I do it later in the week or at some other point. So you get the idea though. You see there's still some of those little sticks and stuff still sticking up. We'll see what happens with those. I don't know, I've never done this before. I could have used, they have those dripping cans, and I think they use some kind of a mixture of kerosene or diesel and oil. I wasn't gonna spend a bunch of money. I got that blowtorch as a gift. It was from Harbor Freight. Works great once you figure out the dial, because if you turn it up too much, it just puts itself out, which you saw it did a couple times there, but just relight it and go. So I wasn't gonna spend a bunch of money on this. I already had the propane tank, I already had the torch, I already have the weed whacker and the trimmer. So yeah, so that's it. That's the burnt part. Now let's move over to the north. We'll get a look at that thick vegetation over there. We'll fire up the weed whacker with the trimmer plus TPB 720 and see how she'll do today. Okay, now on to the Trimmer Pro. I can't remember the name of it. I already said it like 5 times. Showed you the other video. So we're gonna start out with this easy stuff over here. And then we got a couple nice sized saplings there. We'll see if we can take those out. If not, I brought the chainsaw, Sean's chainsaw. So yeah, cue some more music. Let's get the weed eater fired up and let's go to work. With this one, Ear Pro, Eye Pro, make sure you got it. I know I have some poison ivy in there, so make sure you keep an eye out for that if you're doing this. And other than that, enjoy. There you go. I think that was about 1.5 hours of work, but you saw the weed eater vapor locked on me. I couldn't get it to start after it shut off, so I had to take it back to the garage, fix that. When I put it back together, I didn't tighten down the shaft all the way in, so when I cranked it up, it ran, but it wasn't connected, so I had to take it back and do all that. So that's what that was all about. But as you can see, I mean, that thing, it just zips through it. I mean, I cut some vines that were probably, I don't know, 1 inch across, 2 inches across. I mean, they were big, but if you just keep hitting it with that blade, it takes chunks out of it and eventually gets through it. So I'll finish cleaning some of this up. I'm gonna leave some of those smaller trees in there, just because they're not really hurting anything. I just really wanted to get that ground cover out. And now that's the edge of the property line back there, so I'm not gonna keep going. I'll let Ralph take care of that. And yeah, I might work my way down. I don't know if you can see, kind of over this way. Come down that way a little bit more later. But I was really I'm more concerned about this stuff up close to the house, so we don't have critters and field mice and more snakes and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so there you go. Pretty easy. I mean, my arms aren't real sore now. We'll see how they feel tomorrow. But that thing does amazing. And even with the small stuff, you know, there's just a bunch of little flowery things popping up, and it just takes them all out. So now we'll move to the other side, and I'm gonna spray that. I got a 4-gallon backpack sprayer. I'm just gonna spray that. So that shouldn't take too long. And I'll set you up right in front of that birdhouse. So maybe maybe our little gray rat snake will make an appearance while I'm out there spraying, but we'll see. He doesn't like sound very much. So yeah, that's it. Get some water. Let's start spraying. All right, now we wait. Like I said, I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna do a 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks, a month, but we'll come back. I'll figure something out as we go. But so we burned that first section. I couldn't finish it today because it's still too wet. I mean, I guess technically I could finish it, but it's just too damp. And it's way easier when you just light it and it goes by itself. Now, maybe a little harder to control, but it'll burn much quicker. So we'll see how that does. I'll finish that up. I finished on the far side over there. Like I said, that little blade did fantastic. All this back here got sprayed with the Ranger Pro. Like I said, 5 ounces per gallon. So pretty healthy. Now you can go up or down. Again, if you're interested in that, research it. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I said, we'll give it a couple weeks. We're not expecting rain for a couple days, so that's good. Let this settle in a little bit. And that birdhouse right over here, you see, that's where our little gray rat snake's living, but I don't guess he made an appearance. So maybe I'll see if I can find a picture of him and I'll throw it in there for you so you see what I'm talking about. But that's it. So let's take a little break, and we'll come back and check on this in a week or so. Excuse the wind. 1 week follow-up. Let's see where we're at. All 3 different sections. So as you see here, this is a section where we use the trimmer, the TBP Plus. You can see the green that's coming up. I guess those are spots that I missed. It was tough to tell when you're cutting because there's so many leaves and everything's green. But again, part of the process, right? You can see the dead stuff that's laying around. It's clearly stuff that I have cut that I didn't clear out, but the green stuff appears to be everything that's still living. So still looks pretty good though. I'm not surprised that I missed as much as I did. There's our little draw that we talked about, separating the burn from the trim. I burnt a little bit more off camera. It was just too tough, and I didn't get to burn anymore because we've had steady rain since we burnt. But as you can see, the leaves and sticks, or the stems and sticks, are still present. I didn't come back and trim those. I just wanted to see what they were going to do, if they're going to die, if they're going to fall down, if they're going to regrow. A couple spots. We didn't get a nice hot burn here, again, because it was wet. Not surprised that there's a couple little patches of some green stuff coming back already here. But overall, it still looks pretty good. And then everything down there in the back that you see down there that's still green, that's on this spur, I just sprayed it because, like I said, I was absolutely losing with the burning process. So then if we walk over here to where we sprayed, you can see it's not dead yet. It's getting there. But that Ranger Pro spray, I mean, it's putting a hurting on this stuff. If you go back and look at the beginning of the video, this stuff was all dark green and bright and shiny and taller. It might not look like it here. However, it looked like it was, you know, it was flourishing, because it was. Now it's kind of yellowing, withering, and not quite dead yet, but that's okay. you know, we're going for the long haul on this, not what kills it the quickest. I'm a little surprised it's taken it a week to get this far, but hopefully, since it took this long to get it to this stage, it will last even longer. So yeah, so there's your 1 week update. Let's come back in another week and see where we're at. Let's see where we're at after 2 weeks. So here's the part where I used the trimmer. You can see, like I said, those ones that I left behind, but it's tough to tell when you're cutting what's cut and what's not cut, but not going back crazy yet. Looks like I got a branch over there that I tried to schwack. I'll have to come back and check that out later. Might trim that out, but still looking pretty good. It's not growing up too bad. And then here's the burnt spot. Like I said, a few spots that I think it's on me, not on the burn. That I did it when it was still damp, so but they're not growing like crazy. They're getting there, but not too bad. What's going on back there? I'm 99.9% sure I sprayed that back there. But we'll have to wait and see. It was a few days after I sprayed the other side, which, as you can see, I mean, this stuff is just, it's going. But again, it's been 2 weeks now, and it's not dead. But holy camole, is it looking better, huh? So there you go. That's 2 weeks of the Ranger Pro, and it's looking pretty good. I forgot to tell you. So here's the birdhouse I was talking about that we had the snake in, but no snake. Lights are on, but nobody's home. He left. So all right, we'll see you. We'll see you in a week, and we'll see how we're doing after 3 weeks, and then we'll probably do a month and see where we're at from there, and maybe close out this video then. So we'll see you in a week. 3 week update. We're back here. Let's take a look. So starting over here where we use the blade, that stuff's coming back pretty solid right there. You can see the little stuff, like I said, stuff I missed. We've had some pretty decent rain here the last few weeks though, so I'm not surprised that it's coming back, but it still looks pretty good. I mean, it looks way better than it did to start with. So we'll walk over here to where we burnt. You can see those sticks, sorry, a little crooked there, are still just there. I guess eventually I'll probably have to just come back and schwack these down with that blade. And then, like I said, these weeds and stuff are starting to pop back up already, just because we did not get a good burn. So I can't stress that enough, that if we would have got a good solid deep burn on this, I think all this would still be dead. But it's a little too damp, so keep that in mind if you're going to burn. Again, in the back, sprayed that. I sprayed it again probably 5 days ago, just because I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember if I sprayed it or not, so waiting on that to die. And then you can see over here where we did spray. 3 weeks ago we sprayed this, and I mean, it's just dead. We'll walk down in here this time. A couple things, looks like I missed a couple spots, because there's no way if I sprayed that it would still be living. So yeah, I mean, this is all just decimated down in here, so pretty pleased. So there you go. That's our 3 week update. We'll I don't know, maybe give us another week or two, and then probably turn this into an actual video. So get you something to drink. We'll see you in a week. Here we go, week 4. I'm gonna make this one a little quicker because it's raining. I've been waiting for 2 days to do this because it's been raining for 2 days. So we're just gonna fly through this real quick and see where we're at. So here's where we cut with the TPB Pro. Schwacked it down. Still looks about the same as it did last week. Some are a little bit higher, but not terrible. Again, I think it's turned out pretty nice. But here we are a month later, and we already got some decent amount of green popping back up. Again, probably because I missed it, but who knows? Could be just because that's the way it goes. Now you see here where we burnt all this out here that gets quite a bit of sun, starting to pop back up. The stuff back here that's underneath the canopy a little bit more, not quite as much. I mean, there's still some green that's popping through. So, you know, not great, not perfect, but still better. And then, like I think I talked about before, the advantage is killed a bunch of critters and bugs and ticks and chiggers and whatever else is living in there. You see that in the back starting to die off a little bit. I told you I resprayed that, so not surprised that's way behind. And then let's just walk straight across here, and you see everything I sprayed over here still dead, still dropping. All that stuff is starting to fall down on its own. So I think the spray has done the trick, and you can see clear line back there where I stopped spraying, about just past that down tree. So yeah, so there you go. That's our 4-week update. I think I'll do one more week, because I think the I want to see what happens with those other 2 spots that I burnt and cut, and see if they get bigger, especially with all this rain we've had. I think they're really going to start popping, and then I think this is going to die just a little bit more. So we'll see in a week. Here we are, week 5. This is going to be our last week, so let's take our time and walk slow and talk about some pros and cons as we look at the results after 5 weeks of this little experiment that we've been doing. So here you go. This is where we use the Trimmer Plus TPB 720. I just looked. I think I paid $79.99 on Amazon. So I think it's up to 93 now, but if you wait, it'll go back down to 80 bucks, I'm sure. So the pros for this, it attaches easy to pretty much any string trimmer that you can add attachments to. It cuts the big stuff. You know, we cut some small saplings that were probably the size of my thumb, and it plowed right through them. So that was good. Relatively easy to use. Not the easiest, probably the second easiest to use. Yeah, that was it. Not much cleanup after this. Just, you know, the big stuff, had to get it out of the way. The cons, I can't even read my handwriting. After a while, my hands went numb because of vibrations. Not in this little section, but when I tried to do a bigger section, like this whole back 40, you just get that vibration. It's just going to happen. And then the other con was I couldn't see what I missed. So all this greenery that's popping up here, I think is all just stuff that I missed. I don't think it was stuff that we schwacked and died and has regrown. It's just stuff that I missed, because when you cut it down, everything is green, so everything just falls down. So let's cruise on over here to where we did the burn. So for this, I already had the tank, so I didn't count the price of the tank in this. I don't know, I guess if you buy a brand new 20-pound propane tank, they're probably like 40 bucks, I guess. And then the torch I got at Harbor Freight, and I think it was around $25. Actually, I got it as a gift, so I have no idea. But you can find those online as well. So as you can see, this is growing back pretty heartily here. As we talked about previously, I didn't get a good burn, nice and deep. And this out here is in the sun, as you can see. So this gets a lot more sun exposure than back here in the woods. So back here in the woods where we burned, we still have some more popping up, but not nearly as proficient as it is up front. But I like this technique a lot for the simplicity. Like I said, I should have waited until it was completely dry so we could get a nice deep burn in there, and it kills the bugs. And this was a little bit harder than the TPB 720, but not nearly as easy as spraying. So I'd say I'd probably put this last. And probably some of it too, just because I'm new at this. But you know, it did what I expected it to do. And like I said, I think all this growth up here is just because I didn't get a good burn, because all that underbrush was still wet. So if you're going to do that technique, make sure you wait till it's nice and dry. And then we'll cruise over here. And as you can see, here's where we use that Ranger Pro. And it's glyphosate, 41%. I want to say I got it for like 120 bucks at a local little mom and pop shop. But I think that thing's probably going to last me for 2 or 3 years. So a little bit pricey, most expensive of all of it. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. It's effective. You can see everything is dead. There's some green here and there, but I'll be willing to bet that's the stuff that I missed. So a little pricey. Like I said, probably easiest of all to use, right? You just put it in the pump sprayer. You mix however much it says per gallon for whatever you're trying to kill. And I think it's what do they call it? A group 9. So it kills just about everything that you want to try to kill. Now the negatives is, of course, this doesn't kill the bugs. I guess the TPB 720 didn't kill the bugs either. And then I think I'm still going to have to come back through here with that trimmer and knock all this stuff down, because it's just not, it's dead, but it's standing dead. So it still kind of looks kind of dumpy. So I think that's what we're going to have to do. So yeah, let's head back up to the deck and we'll do a little closeout here. Yeah, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed this. If I had to pick a winner, I don't know if I really could. I think they're super simple. You know, with the burning, I think I forgot to mention, in Georgia, anyhow, we have to get a permit. You don't have to get a permit to burn piles of stuff. So, like when we're going to burn all this brush and stuff over here, I don't have to have a permit. Can you see that brush? Where's it at? There it is, yep. So I don't need a permit to burn that, especially if I put it in the fire pit. But if you're going to burn stuff on the ground, like the actual ground, then you have to get a permit. The great thing is, though, you just make a call. I literally was on the phone for 15 minutes with the lady, ask you some simple questions, and you get your permit. And you have to give them a specific time. So I said, I'll burn from 12 to 4 or whatever it was. And no problem, you know. So it was easy. But just one more step. And I think that would be the most effective. If I got a drip torch, like the forestry service, if I got a drip torch like the forestry service uses, that'd probably be a lot easier and more effective. And if it wasn't wet. So I'd say probably my number one is the burn. Number 2, I would say would be the TPB Pro, the 720, just because it's so effective. And you're cleaning it up as you go anyhow. And then last, just, I'm not one of those anti-chemical guys, but the glyphosate, however you say that word, is, I know, not doing great things for the environment. And really the biggest warning with that was, don't get it into your water supply. So thankfully we don't have any streams down here that go into any major water supplies to worry about fish. So there you go. Went through the pros, cons. We gave it a good honest 5 weeks, you know, and you know, you can form your own opinion, see what you like, maybe test it out too if you have some property that you're trying to take care of, and see what you like. So as always, thanks for coming. Thanks for checking us out. We're absolutely blessed. We're so blessed to be able to do this kind of stuff, and it's great. I enjoy doing this kind of stuff where I just share it with you, and we kind of experiment a little and see what happens. So yeah, so if you're liking this channel, if you like this video, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell icon. Of course, if you want to see how to build the mini cabin, you can check that out on our channel too. And look up this way. We'll post another video, probably related to something to the mini cabin, but we're doing a lot more projects here at Suburbia, so it could be something there too. So, yeah, so thanks for coming. Thanks for checking us out. Until next time, be safe. God bless.